He's on his way. Sounds like trouble in Town.
Yeah, the wicked are still among us. Come on, Knife. Barney Gale.
Stabbed clean through the heart.
Yeah. He wouldn't listen to me. Now he'll have to tell it to Satan. Well, the killer's in there somewhere. I'll cover this side, you take the other.
Mr. Delaney.
Get me out of this, Williams.
Williams!
Get in there.
Williams! Oh!
I just saw him head that way.
Who was it?
Shadows were too deep. Couldn't see his face.
Now, I wonder who'd want to kill Barney Gale. Think maybe I got an idea. Give me a hand with this cadaver.
Good evening.
What happened, Greg? The team got here ahead of you. My copy boy caught him running loose in the street.
I stopped off in Town to order supplies for Trigo. Guess something must have frightened him. How long do they be here with this stuff?
Well, this can wait. Thought of something cool and refreshing at your delightful establishment destroys my ambition. Hey, Frank, leave your copy on my desk and the light on. I'll be back later.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
Hello, Zach. You see that the horses are fed and bedded down?
Yes, sir.
Greg, darling.
Hello, Colette.
I brought some of the girls over from the show.
Hello, girls.
Good evening, Mr. Delaney.
George,
Yes, sir.
see that Miss Colette and her friends get everything they want
Yes, sir.
on the house.
Oh, thanks, Greg. Won't you and your friend join us?
Don't waste your time on us, Colette. The house is full of senators.
Senators? Come along, girl.
Colette's attractive. Maybe she and one of her girls would enjoy a quiet evening with us in your charming hideaway.
There's no doubt about that. I might even enjoy it myself. Tonight, there's something more important.
What's more important than pleasure?
Business. One of my dealers has been stealing money and spending it on some trollop.
I've got to talk to you, Vi.
We have nothing to discuss, Wilbur.
But
I'll walk on ahead.
you must give me back this bracelet, Vi.
You gave it to me as a present, and I intend to keep it. Goodbye, Wilbur.
Please, Vi, you must. They found out that I...
They must be arresting him. Seems reasonable. Perhaps we can help him. You little fool. Do you want to get me mixed up with the police? But the poor boy looked so frightened. Perhaps he had reason to be. How can you be so horrid to him, Vi? You were probably responsible for his arrest. You let him spend so much money on you. Give me that bracelet. They may let him go if he returns it. Don't be ridiculous. But Vi... Honestly, Vi, I don't see how you can live with your conscience. Don't you, dear? No, I don't. What earthly pleasure can you derive from ruining that young man? I love Jory. This is the nicest bracelet I ever had. Someday I'll give it to my maid. I believe you'd do anything for money. And why not? Money is the greatest thing in the world. All our lives we've been without it. Papa killed himself grabbing for enough money to feed us. Mama died too poor for us to bury her. We had to grow up on charity. Filthy charity. You're like Papa and Mama. You scrape and sweat in your little shop, and for what? You'll never be rich. But I will. While you work, I'll ride in my splendid carriage. The silks will rustle and the jewels sparkle when I move. And I don't care who pays the bills.
Hello, Bill. What brings you to this den of iniquity?
Murder?
Whose? I can make the next edition.
Barney Gale at Adobe Town. Somebody punctured him with a sharp blade.
Barney Gale? Who did it?
You tell him, Greg. You know who sent your friend to meet his maker.
As usual, Sheriff, you're talking through your hat.
You and Barney Gale had a row, as I remember.
A business difference, let's say.
Over who'd control the gambling in Larder?
You're asking me or telling me?
Where were you about an hour ago, Delaney?
At my office with me.
I hope you're telling the truth, Johnny. You know, your pa was a pretty rough man in his day, but he never lied. He never had to. Just told the truth and took the consequences, even if he had to shoot his way out.
You've ordered, Sheriff.
Well, I'm not trying to be entertaining. It's the law talking now. I'm talking about a murder.
Bill, you ought to read a book by Victor Hugo, Les Miserables. You remind me of the policeman in it.
Maybe I'll read it later, Johnny, but keeping this town clean don't give me much time for reading anything but the Bible.
Sounds to me, Sheriff, like you've been reading too many Diamond Dicks lately.
I'll start stretching a rope for you, Delaney. You're not going to squirm out of this one.
You're still boring us, Sheriff.
Come on.
What do you suppose makes him think you killed Barney Gale?
Is the press asking or you?
Both.
You know, Howard, any gunman who sees the light generally turns into the worst kind of a fanatic.
You better ride over to Dobie Town, Williams. Take another look around. If you see anything, I'll be at headquarters.
Who do you think you're talking to? You heard me. I want $200, and I want it now.
Take it easy, Williams.
Do I get the money, or do you get your head bounced open?
I'm sorry, Williams, but it's orders. No more credit.
What's the trouble?
This man wants more credit.
I figure I got it coming, considering.
That's the way Mr. Williams feels about it. That's the way it is. What do you say to 300?
That's about right. What happened in Dobie Town?
Gale pulled a bushwhack, tried to kill me.
It was self-defense. Why'd you run?
You don't think Howard would believe me, do you? You think any story of mine would hold water with him?
Oh, maybe you're right. He hates your shadow.
Give the gentleman $300 in gold.
Yes, sir.
Blackjack's your game.
Senator, you're so droll and I'm so thirsty.
I've got a hunch Howard didn't believe me when I said you were with me an hour ago.
Why did you tell him that?
Oh, I don't like the way he's been hounding you. He seems overzealous.
That old coot loves you like a son. He hates me worse than he does a rattler. Because he thinks I'm a bad influence on you. That's his principal gripe. He also thinks I'm a bad influence on the town. But you come first. He'd do anything to break us up. Even hang me.
And it's up to me to save you from his rope. You and Barney Gale were partners before you split up. How do you feel about his death?
He gets himself killed in a street brawl. That's his affair.
Howard said the corpse had been punctured with a knife. Think it could have been a blade like this?
Could have been.
By the way, where were you an hour ago?
Like I said, Adobe Town. Come in.
Here he is, boss.
Where's that $800 you stole from me?
He spent it on a bracelet for a girl. There's her name and address.
I didn't know what I was doing. She charmed me out of my mind.
Well, you don't look charmed now.
I tried to get the bracelet back. I explained to her what it meant, and she laughed at me.
What do you expect that kind of a girl to do? Cry? Can he?
Oh, please, Mr. Delaney, don't kill me. Give me a chance. I'll do anything.
What makes you think you're important enough to kill?
Have him work it out. No pay till he's even.
Greg, you amaze me constantly. You're your own judge, jury, and law. Right now, your feelings are hurt. Because one of your dealers stole from you? Oh, no. You'll get that back from his salary. It's because out here, somewhere in this town, a little trollop, a cheap little connive is wearing an $800 bracelet. Sonny boy, I love you like a brother, but I know you like a book.
Come on.
Where to?
To get my bracelet. Didn't think Wilbur had such good taste.
Who is it, Janet? Who is he?
Fate. Remorseless, inevitable fate. Fine. A properly scrambled egg's a culinary work of art. You don't look to me like a receiver of stolen goods.
No!
Ever seen anything uglier? Who labors under the delusion that this belongs to them? You or that squalling wench in there?
Janet, a man came. There you are.
Here I am.
I know. You are Greg Delaney.
I don't think I've had the pleasure.
I'm Violet Barton. This is my sister, Janet.
You new in town?
2 weeks. We have the Parisian shop.
Ladies, may I present my friend Johnny Hale?
Charmed?
I'm afraid we disturbed your dinner. The least we could do is make amends. Huh, Johnny?
The food is superb at El Nido.
El Nido? Where is that?
Well, actually, it's Mr. Delaney's place, about an hour's drive up in the hills. His man, Trigo, the greatest cook in Texas. I'm positive you'll enjoy dining there.
Oh, it may sound bold, but I would. Unchaperoned? That wouldn't be quite proper. Don't worry, dear. I'll chaperone you. And we'll have 2 strong men to protect us. Go get dressed.
Your sister's very magnetic.
Yes. Very magnetic. Also volatile. I'll get ready. Please excuse me.
I'll match you for Wilbur's light of love.
I only gamble for money. and gold resist. My lips that yearn to be kissed. Surrender, surrender, my all. I made it.
It was a G.
G.
That was lovely.
We also have a dance act.
It's getting rather late. I think we'd better go.
If you like. I hate to break this up, but I've got to finish reading proof on tomorrow's edition.
That's the kind of friends I've got.
Oh, I've always wanted to see a newspaper office.
Then I'll give you a personally conducted tour.
Rigo,
See?
get the rig ready.
But ladies, you must not leave. I will play more music, cook more food.
Thanks for trying, Cupid. But my friend John's got to go back to town.
Oh, how beautiful. It seems to go on forever.
You can almost see the panhandle from here. 1,000 miles to the north. Come here, I'll show you a real view. Over there is Mexico, just beyond Dead Man's Pass.
This is like a castle in the old country. High on a hill so you can see everything happening for miles around.
That's sort of the idea. For years, smugglers used that pass.
How romantic.
And practical. From here, you could signal to friends miles away in any direction. During the war days, guns and supplies were run through here. And after the war, when there was no law, thousands of head of stolen cattle. It's been a golden trail for the man who controlled it.
If you don't want your paper to be late, we'd better get started.
Thanks for the ride, Greg.
Thank you for the ride.
Hello, Johnny. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Oh? Why?
Oh, nothing that can't wait. I see you're busy.
This is Miss Janet Barton. Bill Howard, our sheriff.
I do, Miss Barton. Oh, you run the Noon Ladies Doodad shop, don't you?
Yes.
And this is her sister Violet.
I do, ma'am. Where are you from?
The East, St. Louis.
They say a man is judged by the company he keeps. That goes for a woman, too.
I don't understand.
Well, you can't sleep in a stable and expect to smell like a rose.
Oh, leave a light for me, Vi. I'll be home soon.
Oh, Bill, come in and tell me what's on your mind.
You can wait.
That man, he frightened me.
He's a pathetic character. Johnny said he fell on his head out of the pages of Les Miserables. Come on, boys.
You're so strong.
Anything, Mr. Delaney?
No, thank you. I'm a guest at the moment.
Right, boss.
What do I do now?
Stand.
House pays 18. You lose, sir. Lady wins.
Pay the lady in gold. Let it ride. Aren't you a gambler?
Not unless I'm sure of winning.
Me too. Draw one. Stand.
House pays 20. Lady wins.
Let it fly. That's a very beautiful bracelet.
Thank you.
Someone must have paid a lot of money for it. Maybe still is paying. The customers are waiting, dealer. What about cars?
House breaks. Everybody wins. You can get yourself a new dealer, Mr. Delaney.
Take it easy, Wilbur. Life is like that. Pay the ladies. The boy's been under a strain. You must forgive him. Pick up your money, my dear. You get it in left.
Poor Wilbur. Will those men be cruel to him?
Not as cruel as women have been.
But I've heard that men are killed around here for doing less than he.
He's quite safe. At least until his debt's paid. Tired?
No, it's just all the excitement. You see, I'm not used to such places and things. Oh, but it's so lovely. Perhaps we could ride around for a few minutes until my nerves calm down.
Alnito's not too far.
I love Chico's music.
She must be home. It's nearly midnight. I guess she forgot to leave a light.
I'll wait here while you have a look.
She's asleep.
Remember, dinner tomorrow night. You tell Vi, I'll tell Greg. We'll dine at my house.
Your house?
It's a poor place, a hovel. But Mother and I call it home. I quickly mentioned Mother so Vi will have no doubt about propriety.
Oh.
Mother's an excellent chaperone.
It'll be a pleasure to meet your mother, Johnny.
Well, good night. Good night.
Good morning, Mrs. Wilson.
Good morning.
Is that coffee I smell? Pour me a gallon.
This shop opens at 8:30 a.m. It is now 10:30.
Sorry, sister, darling, but Greg and I got to gambling. We just forgot about time.
Your luck must have been good.
The best.
I told Johnny you got in before midnight.
Why, Johnny?
I'm afraid you charmed him.
Greg Delaney is more my type.
Vi, you're headed for trouble if you think you can use Greg as you did poor Wilbur.
I'll use any man any way I wish.
I'm still betting on Greg Delaney. Incidentally, you had a very narrow squeak last night.
What do you mean?
Johnny started to look up our names in his so-called morgue. He might have found some embarrassings from the Houston papers.
You needn't have worried. There was nothing about me published under the name of Barton.
Of course. I forgot. Oh, Johnny has asked us to dine at his house tonight.
His house? Oh, count me out. I have something else.
Oh, please, Vi, just this once for me. For the first time, I was going to be extravagant and, well, this. You won't be too bored. Greg will be there.
Greg? But I thought... You're joking. Is this really your house?
The roof leaks.
You're an imposter. I thought you were a poor but idealistic newspaper man.
Well, the best part about having money is being able to do what you want. Did you think I was poor but honest, Vi?
I never even gave it a thought, Johnny. I just never seem to think about practical things.
I do.
Is Mother down yet, Melvin?
In the drawing room, Mr. John.
Mother, this is Miss Barton and Miss Barton. Oh, I'm not being repetitious. They're sisters, Janet and Violet.
Well, may I call you Miss Janet and you Miss Violet? That'll save confusion. Sit down beside me, girls.
Sherry for everyone. Where's Greg?
Previous engagement. He sent his regrets.
Well, that's not like Greg. Well, didn't you two hit it off last night?
Hit it off.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't understand why Greg...
I always liked Greg. I wish he'd come to see me more often.
It's a life he leads, darling. Sometimes I think he's a little ashamed of it.
We could force Uncle Jeffrey to give him a place in the bank.
Greg, a bank clerk? Greg lives large. He's got his own way. Long life to him.
Perhaps you don't feel good, Senor Greg.
I never felt better in my life. Why?
It is not like you to eat all alone with all this.
But I'm not alone. See, the lady will have some brandy. She walked into my life last night, and I'm debating whether she should stay.
See?
See? You can take this stuff away. You know?
I believe you and the lady won't want to be disturbed, huh?
Rigo, if I know a woman, a lady looking very much like my dinner guest will arrive sometime before 12 o'clock tonight. When she does, sure in.
Si. Perdón, señorita.
It was a lovely evening, Mrs. Hale. I enjoyed it so much.
I hope Johnny didn't bore you with the family history.
Oh, on the contrary. Just imagine owning an empire. Vast ranches, whole towns, hundreds of people.
Hold on, I didn't say we owned the people.
But they depend on you.
Well, champagne does that to me. I talk too much. Guess it must be the bubble.
I'm so glad Johnny asked you tonight. You must come again soon.
Oh, I'm afraid I've left my handkerchief in the drawing room. Would you mind, Johnny?
We'll look for it right now.
I've got to talk to you alone about Greg. Take me to the social dance at the Antler Hotel. If Janet wants to go, I'll say that each lady has to have an escort. They don't permit unescorted ladies.
But your handkerchief.
Will you? It's important. I found it.
Yes. Well, good night, girls.
Good night, Mrs. Hale. Good night, Mrs. Hale.
Good night. Now, Johnny, I think it a good idea if you come straight back home. You've had quite enough to drink.
I'm a big boy now, Mother. I eat rare steaks, drink red whiskey, and I go with girls. Night, darling. I'm sorry you're not coming with us.
Have a good time.
Johnny thinks you'll put out, dear. Tell him he shouldn't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sure they wouldn't enforce any such stupid rule in my case.
That idea is right, Johnny. A man can only dance with one girl at a time, and the other would look silly. A wallflower.
Very silly.
Come, Johnny. We're missing dances.
Good night.
You may think I'm dreadfully bold, but I believe in being honest, don't you?
Me? No, but they say it's the best policy. Go ahead.
Almost always, when two men take two girls out the first time, they settle in pairs, and after that, it's always that way. Well, I don't want it the way it is. When we first met, Greg sort of singled me out.
Are you telling me the flattering thing I hope I'm hearing?
I know I'm being awfully bold, but
Well, it's the first time I've ever wiped Greg's eye.
what's that mean, wipe his eye?
Oh, make a better shot than the other fella. Beat him at something.
I knew he would misunderstand. Think I was...
I think you're the greatest thing since Halley's Comet. Hey, Morton, to the River House at a spirited pace. This is no time for dancing. This is a time secluded nook. For vintage wine, soft music, for poetry, and lilting phrases. For
like the way you talk. I could listen to you forever.
Come in.
Perhaps the senorita got lost.
I'm sorry, Trigo. I forgot about you. Go to bed.
Gracias. Buenas noches.
Trigo. Have you ever noticed that some women have the ability to make a sucker out of any man?
Sí, señor Delay.
You're still awake? It's almost daylight. 6 o'clock. My watch tells time. It's an inexpensive thing I bought myself. Not a jeweled gewgaw in bad taste I cried out of a fat traveling salesman with a wife and family in San Antone. But it tells time. You'd better be careful. You were rather obvious last night, spiriting Johnny away.
I said I'd be rich someday. The Hales don't half of Texas.
Your bags are packed. You may leave any time, as long as it's before noon today. Most of this I've been getting ready to say to you for some time. Almost since I brought you out here from Houston. But I held back. Sisterly affection for the poor girl who made a mistake. But I don't believe you've ever made a mistake. You're too calculating. If you weren't, I'd chance it and say this to you. This, Vi. Please, sister. For once, don't glow. Just for this one man. Don't be torrid. Pass up Johnny Hale. Because your sister Janet is in love with him. I try appealing to your decency. But I know that is non-existent.
You're looking for trouble.
So this is what I'm going to say instead. Leave Johnny Hale alone.
Or
I'll have a talk with him. There are so many things I could tell him.
really,
For instance, the state police in San Antone are ever so anxious to have a long talk with you. That there is a man in jail in Houston who was your husband and a thief. Just like you. You've always been one Vi at heart. Even when we were small children, you always thought the selfish, evil way. I was a fool to think you could have changed.
are you quite through?
Of course, Johnny will never take another look at you once he knows the truth.
Go look out the window.
Congratulations.
We were married last night. Very romantic. Johnny just wouldn't wait. He is so impetuous. Wanted to bribe Greg Delaney's eye. Now I will give it to my maid. I'll send for the rest of my clothes. But on second thought, I won't.
You can have all that trash because I won't need it anymore.
Going so soon?
Oh, headache.
Fright and probably true, but not the real reason. You know something, Janet?
What?
You've got quality. A thoroughbred always runs best when the going is hardest.
Johnny's mother might have asked questions if I hadn't come.
I'll send you home in my rig.
Thanks, Greg. I'd rather walk.
Did you ever think, Molly, when you and Thad and me were living on muddy river water in Sow Belly, that you'd be serving 2 kinds of punch and champagne at Johnny's wedding? Shut up, you buzzard. You don't need to put on airs with me. I remember the first pair of store-bought shoes you ever wore. Thad and me brought them down from the Panhandle with a herd of cattle.
Russell cattle, no doubt.
It was either that or nothing. Somebody took yours, you had to get them back, didn't you?
Did you?
Enough to fill the biggest ranch in Texas. Oceans of them, longhorns as far as the eye could see. Why, Thad and Molly and me were just wallowing in gold. Shucks. What Thad left Molly would build 100 places like this with enough left over to buy Missouri.
How about you, Sheriff?
Well, I saw the error of my ways. I saw that man doesn't live by bread alone, nor gold either. Never thrust your sickle into another man's corn, the book says. Now you take Molly.
Oh, here's the Reverend Salters. Come along, girls, you must meet him.
Champagne laced with brandy.
Yes, sir. Last time I saw Johnny, he said I reminded him of somebody. I looked it up. It was Javert. Javert.
It's Javert, the policeman in Les Miserables.
That's right. He was dead set on catching one man. Never give up.
He finally drowned himself in the river. Why don't you?
Did we surprise you, old man?
You always did travel at a full gallop.
I'm so glad to see someone I know. With all these strangers here.
Go ahead, kiss the bride.
Writing other men's names and kissing other men's wives are both dangerous. I wish you happiness.
Oh, hello, Dave. Glad you got here.
Hello, Molly. Where's the bride?
Oh, there's Aunt May. Don't be surprised at anything she says.
Be at my office tomorrow afternoon.
Well, you sure cut a prize out of the herd this time, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
Hey, speak up, girl. I said thank you. Well, you don't have to shout at me, you know. Now, do you like to ride?
Well, yes, I ride a little, but...
Oh, that's fine. You bring her out to the ranch soon, Johnny. We'll go riding.
Well, maybe later. Take her a little while to settle down here.
That's right. Most all the old settlers are gone. Now, don't forget. Got any riding togs?
No.
Well, that's all right. You can borrow some of mine. Scoot me over to the bar like a good boy, Johnny. See you later. I want to wet my whistle.
Hi, May.
Hiya, Sheriff.
May an old friend of the family offer his best wishes to the bride?
Thank you.
The Hale women have all been good lookers. Fine women, too. Never a breath of scandal about a one of them. You know, when I was a young fella, one of the first shooting scrapes I ever got into was over one of the Hale girls. A man said something about her that I knew was wrong. After I shot him, they proved it was.
I'm sure that was very gallant of you.
Yep, I'm very fond of the Hales. I wouldn't want to see anything happen that would hurt them.
Come in.
I hope no one saw me. It's very dangerous for me to come here. After all, I've been married only 2 days, you know.
I know.
You've got a lot of nerve asking me to come here.
I didn't ask you.
You did.
I told you.
What's the difference, Greg? I shouldn't have come.
And why did you?
Because... that's why I came.
I know you so well. Because we're exactly alike. Here. Drink this. I want you to have a clear head. It's important you understand everything I'm going to tell you. You're a trollop, but be a clear-headed trollop. I want to tell you something about Johnny and me. We were together in the cavalry during the war. One day our platoon was making a sharp raid into what we thought was a weak spot in the Yankee line. Well, as it turned out, it wasn't. We rode straight into a battery of 8-pounders, and they opened up on us with canister. My horse was hit, and he went down. I tried to run and got a ball through my ribs. Johnny saw what happened, and he turned around and came right straight back into that hellish blast. He picked me up, and we got away. He saved my life. The miracle was he didn't die in the attempt. That night, I swore the only oath I've ever taken in my life. That if anyone ever does Johnny Hale a real injury, I'd have to kill whoever it was. Now get out.
Please, Greg, don't bite me.
I said get out.
Buenos dias, Maria.
Buenos dias, señor. Hey.
I shan't be long. Maria's made some special tortillas for tonight. John adores them.
Oh, I'll get some of those lovely flowers.
Yes.
Acabo de terminar la última. Están muy sabrosas.
Ah.
El chilito también está muy bueno.
Oh.
Azucenas, claveles, de todos colores para la señorita. Es bonita. Ay, señorita.
Bunch of those stuck, please.
Con mucho gusto.
Jen.
Aquí las tiene, señorita. Fresquecitas. Thank you.
Good morning. I'll bet you're surprised to see me, Mrs. Van.
I believe you've made a mistake.
My error, Mrs. Hale. I'll bet Henry would be surprised at this.
If you persist in annoying me, I'll call the police.
I don't think you will, Mrs. Van. Mrs. Hale.
Adiós, señora.
Adiós. My dear.
Walk down to the chocolate stall. Coming, dear.
Who's that strange-looking man you were speaking to?
Oh, a newspaper man of some sort. I referred him to Johnny. Will you take this home, please? It's such a beautiful day, and it's so gay and charming in the plaza. I think I'll walk.
It isn't quite proper for ladies to walk unescorted in this district. It might be dangerous.
I believe I can manage.
Very well.
Chocolate caliente, pasen el chocolate. Chocolate caliente, pasen el chocolate. Buenos días, señorita. ¿Qué desea?
One chocolate, please.
Sí, señorita. Muy rico, muy bueno. Esto la da saludable. Este sí está muy rico, señorita. ¿Quiere usted pan de huevo? ¿Quiere panecito? Gracias. Chocolate caliente.
Well?
I was just wondering what Henry Van would do if he found out his wife is married to another man.
You know Henry Van divorced me.
He intended to, but lawyers cost money. And you can't make money in jail.
You're lying.
A letter to Houston will prove I'm right.
What do you want?
You ought to know. Money.
Why should I give you money?
You know the answer to that one, too. Suppose I was to tell Mr. Hale that you was in trouble with the police, and still would be if they knew who you really are.
How much money do you want?
1,000.
Are you crazy? I haven't got it.
Now, look, I don't want to make any trouble. And it ain't going to do you no good for somebody to see us scabbing here. I'll be standing in the courthouse square tonight at 8 o'clock. It ain't much, $1,000. Bring it with you. The law don't like bigamists.
Driver, Crystal Palace, hurry.
Señorita.
What's the blackmailer got on you?
A little mistake, long past. It would be awkward for Johnny to hear about it. You said once you never wanted Johnny to be hurt.
What's this man's proposition?
He threatens to tell Johnny unless I give him $1,000.
Your sister Janet know about this, little mistake of yours?
Yes, but she'll never do anything to hurt Johnny. She's in love with him, you know that. What shall I do, Greg?
Don't pay him. Blackmailers always come back. Why'd you just tell Johnny the truth? Whatever it is. You'd be surprised how broad-minded he is. You can't. Because that one little mistake would lift the lid off a lot of others. Wouldn't it?
You always know about me. You're exactly alike. You said that yourself.
There were lots of others. I found what I want now. Will you help me keep it?
I waited for you at El Nido one night till 3 o'clock in the morning. The night you married Johnny. Turn off the charm bar. It won't work twice.
This will be a nasty mess if you don't help me. I don't know how Johnny and his mother will stand it. If you don't want to help me, think of them.
The carriage will meet you in the square. Pick up your blackmail and bring him there.
Oh, thank you.
Don't put your hands on me.
Oh, I realize now I was wrong. I should never have let Johnny persuade me to marry him. Not that I knew I was in love with you.
You sound almost convincing.
You think I'm lying?
Aren't you?
No, Greg, no, I'm lying. As soon as it can be done without making too much of a scandal, I'll divorce Johnny. You and I can...
You can save all that, Vi. I'm going to help you out of this one mess. After that, I don't want you to come within a mile of me.
I don't like this.
You want $1,000, don't you?
Come in. Is this the man?
Yes. His name is Carson.
Come in, Mr. Carson. Did you have a drink?
Don't mind if I do.
You come from around here?
No, I just happened to run into Vi accidentally.
Lucky break, huh?
Guess you could call it that.
You know, Mr. Carson, what you're doing is known in some circles as blackmail.
Oh, that's a bad word, sir. Shall we say I'm just being paid for a service?
You tell me how I know you won't bother the lady again.
Well, if I get mine, there's no reason why I should come back. Swear it on a stack of Bibles.
Very well. Here you are.
I knew you'd see it my way, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, Carson. It's always a pleasure to do business with a straight shooter like you. Canning, this is Mr. Carson. Take him out and give him all the champagne he wants. Special finish.
I understand, Mr. Delaney.
And as long as he's our guest, see that he gets all the hospitality coming to him.
Very kind of you. Goodbye, sir. So long. Bye, Mrs. Hale.
You didn't do that for Johnny. You did it for me, I know.
Favors at $1,000 a throw come high.
I'll make it up to you somehow.
Forget it, and me too. From now on, stay on top that hill where you belong.
But I really belong with you.
Not within 1,000 miles of me. You'll be wondering where you are. Good night and goodbye. Well?
He hit me.
Pay 21.
Well, that's the last of it. How about some credit, huh?
Sorry, Carson, the game's over.
Well, wait a second, I can just ask, can I? I'm only asking for some credit. I lost $1,000, didn't I? I still know a lot, and I can still talk.
Got a passenger for you, Tex. We're full up. Toss him on the booth. Here's his fare to Cajon. You can drop him off there. If you don't bounce out before that. All right, man. Here!
I was watching for you.
How bad is he?
He's maudlin. Fell through the door just after daylight. Been drinking ever since. It's been the same day after day. He's in the kitchen. I've been trying to get him to eat something.
at least have some coffee.
Oh, thanks. We'll have some coffee, well laced with whiskey. Hello, friend of my bosom.
How long have you been on this?
A couple of days, more or less. Hi, Janet.
2 weeks.
Well, it's this particular time. There have been others. Janet has such a well-shaped shoulder for me to cry my alcoholic tears on. I did it last week and the week before.
But this is the last time.
I understand. The last time. And you, friend of my bosom, why do you so assiduously avoid me?
I don't.
Oh, yes, you do. Oh, yes, indeed you do. And shall I tell you why?
Drink some coffee, Johnny.
The lady's right.
Now, let me talk. Let me talk. I will anyway. You know that. Shall I tell you why? It's because you've lost respect for me. Does that sound idiotic?
No, it sounds like whiskey.
I'll tell you. It's because you've got so much integrity yourself. You're scornful of anyone who doesn't have integrity. No woman could make you change your code.
Why don't you shut up?
Because I have something to say. Something that weighs heavy on me.
I don't think I should listen to any more.
Oh, Jack has good manners. But it's gone past good manners. Greg's ashamed of me. Because I'm weak, and because he can't understand anybody being weak. And especially a woman.
I don't
weak.
think...
Let him talk. He may as well get it off his chest.
No, it's not that easy, Greg. It's deeper. And there's nobody to blame but myself. I thought for once I'd show you up. Right before I said, take a beautiful girl away from him. Oh, I was stupid and infatuated. All she wanted to be was a rich Mrs. Hale.
Don't talk nonsense.
Oh, it's no use, Greg. I learned the truth too late. I'm trying to hide from it a lot. That's something that you wouldn't do. You wouldn't let a woman do this to you. You just laugh at her.
I'll take him home. Don't worry. I'll smuggle him in. I've done it before when he was like this.
Like old times again, taking me home through the carriage house in the back way. No disgrace to fine old Hale name. No, it's good I get a friend again. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's changed between us.
Nothing.
Good. You're tough. You don't need friends. Me, I'm weak. I do.
I'll handle him, Jim.
You too. I thought you were too strong, Greg. Didn't think she could manage you.
Never mind about me. You're in love with Johnny, aren't you? Things are looking up, big sister. I have a hunch you're going to draw a winning number.
Give that to the cook, Melvin, please.
Yes, Mom.
Greg!
Hello. I brought Johnny home, the back way.
That boy. I'll have to speak to him.
Well, he won't make much sense now. I told Georgia to sober him up and get him over to my place by 9 o'clock tonight. Something I have to tell him. Something he should know.
Thank you, Greg. I'll see that John is there.
Good. Good night.
Good night.
Something I have to tell him. Something he should know.
How is he, Georgie?
Mr. Hill, just fine, ma'am. Missy Elsie's got him up and eating. I'm getting hot water for a shave.
found you. You shouldn't have treated our friend Carson so badly. He told me all about you.
He also said we are not divorced. That's a lie.
Well, fortunately, it is the truth. That's what I've come to discuss. If Mr. Hale is at home, I'm sure he'd be interested.
He won't give you any money.
You haven't changed. How do you know money is what I want? How do you know I don't want you?
I wouldn't cross the street with you.
Oh, yes, you will. You're my wife, remember? Now, don't play the fine lady with me. I've taken enough from you.
But, Henry, I'm happy now. Everything is just the way I wanted it to be. You wouldn't spoil all that.
Amazing. You turn on that sad little girl act and expect me to fall for it again. I'm just decided. Shall we go in?
Oh, this isn't the place. I was just going to call on a friend of mine. Come on.
Who is this friend we are calling on?
Be patient, you'll see.
Your friend lives in an exotic neighborhood. Your friend is not a woman.
He is my husband's friend.
Your only husband is me. You know, when I got out of prison and found from Carson where and who you were, I came here with the intention of slitting your beautiful throat. But I think it would be a pity for such a thing to happen, even if you did run out on me.
But, Henry, can't you understand? I didn't want to go to jail. I had to get away.
And left me holding the sack, huh? But I will be a forgiving husband and let bygones be bygones. Besides, I was always very fond of you. And still am. Your friend is Greg Delaney.
Let's be sensible. I'll give you money for an attorney. And you can go back and get a divorce quietly.
And leave this wonderful opportunity. Why, that would be foolish. During those long months in prison, I thought of only two things, you and money. Now I can have them both. I'm sure the Hale family would pay well to keep this, shall we say, situation out of the papers. After all, they have a fine old name to protect.
I'm finished with blackmail.
Are you now? I think not. By cooperating, we can keep it quiet and build a nice bank account. And later, perhaps, we can travel, meet new people, and...
I'll never go back to you.
Remember this? Your wedding present to me. To my beloved husband, Henry, from his adoring wife, Violet. You were beautiful then. You're even more beautiful now. You're not Hale's wife. You're mine. And I mean to keep you. You cheap wench!
Be in his office.
Thanks.
Hello, Greg.
Hey, Greg!
Mr. Hale. Who's that? What happened? Where's Mr. Delaney? Why did you kill him? This can be awful bad for us. You know how the sheriff feels about Mr. Delaney. A killing right in his office. We'll have to protect him, Mr. Hale. I don't know what else to do.
Zach! Yes, sir?
Get Sheriff Howard! Quick!
Yes, sir.
They wouldn't let me see Johnny last night. And they refused bail. Your orders?
That's right.
You know I'm his best friend?
I can't say that I do.
Quit stalling. Do I see him or don't I?
When we pulled this out of that fella in your office, it left a hole just like the one we found in Barney Gale.
So that proves I killed them both. Sheriff, you got a mind like a steel trap. A rusty one.
How can you stand yourself, Delaney?
Have it.
And a bad one. You should feel pretty good. Calling yourself Johnny's best friend, and look what you've done to him. He's locked up for murder. And Molly, who likes you and trusts you, I wonder if she will when she knows the rotten truth.
You bore me, Javert.
And you sneer at me because I respect the law and the rights of others. Maybe it's a good thing for you that I do. Because if I didn't, I'd bore you with a 44 right now.
Do I see Johnny?
Keys, Frank. Delaney wants to see you. It says in the book to avoid evil companions. Shall I let him in?
No. You don't make sense.
Get out.
You should have said that a long time ago, Johnny.
Look here, leave us alone so we can talk.
We've got nothing to talk about.
What about your wife and your mother?
Bill, get him out of here.
Didn't look to me like he was glad to see you. Maybe he found out something. Something about you and that Barton woman. It's real cute. The best friend, he hangs. The wife gets the money, you get the wife. Go ahead. Jump me, Delaney. I'd enjoy blowing a wide legal hole through you. But I'd let you die slow so as you could talk and get things off your soul. Am I boring you now? Frank.
Yes, sir.
Get Williams and Gerard in here quick. There's a lot of loose talk around town. The Hales are well thought of. We don't want to lose Johnny to some of his hot-headed friends, so we'll move him over to Rio Verde.
Now, look, Howard, there's always a lot of hotheads looking for trouble after a killing. Now, I think...
You keep your thoughts to yourself. I'm running this case, and I'm protecting my prisoner.
That's right, but...
Have him ready, Frank.
Yes, sir.
You men be mounted tonight at 9. And remember, this is a graveyard secret. Not even your wives are to know.
Seems to me like you're going fishing, using Johnny Hale for bait.
Johnny Hale didn't do that murder. I'm using my own way to trap the killer.
Here she comes. Come in, Vi, and sit down. We don't have time for a family spat. Close the door, Janet. What happened at home?
I came as soon as I could get away from the family. They're engaging boys, of course, but Johnny won't give them any help. Refuses to see any of us. He won't even try to explain anything. Oh, his mother is wonderful. So calm. I thought she'd fly to pieces, but...
Thoroughbreds are like that. You wouldn't understand.
Could I have coffee or something? I haven't had a bite all day. Why did he do it?
He won't talk to me either.
Oh, it's been such a strain. My mind got to wandering. I got to thinking. We have to be realists, Greg. Naturally, I wish Johnny hadn't got himself into this terrible trouble, but now that he has...
It makes life rich and easy for us.
We've got to be realists, Greg.
Don't pretend with me, Vi. You think this makes everything add up just fine, don't you?
I'm only saying there is nothing we can do for Johnny.
I intend to do something. It's not going to turn out the way you hope.
I'll take it.
Greg Delaney here.
Here I am.
I got some valuable information for you.
I guess when trouble comes along, blood is thicker than water.
I remember reading that somewhere.
Don't be so high and mighty with me. Do you think I don't know Johnny came running here every time he got a noseful to cry on your shoulder? Do you think I don't know that you're in love with him?
That's true, of course, but unimportant. What's important is that Johnny is not in love with me.
I'm not too sure about that. I've listened to him drool for hours about what a fine person you were. What character, such intelligence, such integrity.
Do go on. You have my complete attention.
Janet, I need your help. A rig will come for both of you tonight at 8 o'clock. The driver will have his orders. You hear me, Vi? Don't leave here until the rig comes for you.
The prisoner's mounted and ready.
Change your mind yet, Howard?
You went to the Barton woman's house and talked with Greg Delaney. Why?
Well,
How much money do you owe Delaney? Give me a gun.
I hope you know what you're doing.
I do. Frank, lock him up.
Come on, Williams. All right, boys. Mask up. Here they come.
Stand! Throw down your guns.
Do like he tells you. Hold it, Gerard. Pick up your gun. You might need it later.
Well, there goes your bait, but where's the fish? What do we do now?
Just relax.
I'd sure like to know what you're up to.
That is Greg Delaney's gang.
You knew he'd stop us?
If my scheme works, he'll hang for murder.
Scheme?
Look, Johnny Hale had hanged for Greg Delaney. Chances are Delaney'd confess before Johnny got to the gallows, but I'm taking no chances. With both men free, the guilty one will try to get out of the country. Mexico's a good, safe place. So he'll head south through the Dead Man's Pass.
You worked that cleverly, but has it occurred to you that maybe I didn't want to escape?
Yeah, this is no time to be long-winded. Janet and Vi are waiting for us at El Nido.
Vi's waiting.
Yeah, come on.
Here comes Lon and the boys. How you fixed, Lon?
We're all set.
What's next?
A 6-man will head him off a Dead Man's Pass. You called it right, Sheriff. Delaney's on his way to El Nido.
Everything all right, Trigo?
The senoritas got here an hour ago. They're inside.
Johnny.
I can wait. Won't be as bad as it might being on the run. You'll have money. That's all I had. It ought to do.
You mean me?
Of course you. You don't want to hang, do you? Maybe in a few years you can make arrangements to come back. Maybe not. But you're alive. Sure, there'll be times when you're worried. But there'll be 2 of you to share the worries.
I won't go.
Yes, you will. You won't stick fast to a husband when he's rich and important, then abandon him when he's wanted by the law? You wouldn't do a thing like that, would you? I'll answer for you. You won't.
I'll not go.
Things didn't turn out the way you hoped. You'll go.
Why do you want me to run away? Didn't you kill that fella?
Me?
Why, sure. Why do you think I wouldn't say anything? Wouldn't even talk to you?
Why, you half-wit.
I found this around his neck.
To my beloved husband, Henry. From his adoring wife, Violet. I should have guessed. I wasn't smart. So that was it. You had to get rid of this fella. So you'd kill him in my office. You were willing to plant the crime on me.
Oh, no, Greg. I just was so frightened. I didn't know what to do.
You lied. Henry Van didn't divorce you. Then you and Johnny are not... It's strange. So very strange. But I can't find it in my heart to be sorry for you.
Howard will be very happy to put a rope around your neck.
You wouldn't let them have me, Greg. You wouldn't trade me for Johnny.
Wouldn't I? I told you I'd kill anyone who did Johnny Hale a real injury. Anyone.
Then you must kill me. Why don't you shoot, Greg?
You love me. You can't deny that.
No, I don't deny it.
Well?
Well, what? Throw away what I've got here, my business and everything, and run away with you? No. We've got to be realists, remember? Sure, I love you. But there'll be other women come along. I got to think of myself first. That's what realism is. Taking care of number 1 first.
Senor Van, someone coming up the trail.
That makes better sense. And would have from the beginning. We've got company coming up the trail. Bill Howard, Javert. He's outguessed me.
You let him catch her?
Realists always accept the inevitable.
Don't let me be arrested, Greg.
Come on. Hold on tight. Turn him loose, Rigo.
So it was Delaney in the rig. That proves it. I knew you weren't guilty, Johnny. Only by not talking, you made it hard for me to prove.
You're still wrong, Bill. Only it doesn't matter now. He'll get away.
Well, he won't get far. He's riding right into a trap.
Let him go, Bill. He won't come back. We'll never see him again.
I'm sorry, Johnny. He's brought too much evil to La Mirada. Now he's running away with your wife. He's got a lot to atone for.
Not my wife. The dead man was her real husband.
So that's it.
You're staying here, Bill. We're giving Greg a chance.
Johnny, you shoot me to save him? Well, if you want him to live that much, you better let me go, because there's a posse right behind him and another one in Dead Man's Pass waiting to cut him off. And the orders I gave was shoot to kill.
I'll go with you.
No, Johnny. If Delaney puts up a fight, it ain't gonna be pretty. Take care of him, honey. Johnny's a fine boy.
Let's hemmed in.
Hold your fire, man!
Meg, you hurt.
You better give up, Delaney. You haven't got a chance.
Why don't you jump in the river, Javert?
Oh, please help me. He's hurt.
You throw out those guns and you won't get hurt.